So, Chris, we are about to see the sunset here at Bonita Beach.
It's a beautiful night.
It is a beautiful night. I mean, it is just, it's finally a little bit warm. It's not as cold as it has been. So
Absolutely.
And we're getting ready. After we see the sunset, we're going to head back to my house and film the third episode of our YouTube channel.
It'll be fun.
It'll be fun. So cheers.
Cheers.
Weeknight dinners don't need to feel rushed, disconnected, or complicated. Tonight, we're making one nourishing soup base that works for everyone. Right now, Chris is dicing some onions and garlic for our soup base. And soon I'll be dicing the rest of the ingredients, the celery, the mushrooms, and the carrots. I've already diced celery and mushrooms, and now I'm dicing carrots. At Plant Powered Collective, we talk a lot about shared bases, one foundation that brings everyone together with flexibility for individual needs. And right now, we are making the shared base. All right, so this is cooking up really nicely. You can see that it's getting translucent. The onions and the garlic fragrance is just amazing. At this point, if you have fresh grated ginger, you can add it. I do not. So we're just going to add like a little squeeze. Put that aside. We'll add that in and incorporate that in with the onions and garlic. You can smell the ginger now. It smells amazing. It's still warming during this time of year. And although Chris and I are in Florida, for us, this is a little chilly. Now, since this is in a good place with being translucent, we're going to add our carrots, our mushrooms, and you can add any mushrooms that you happen to have on hand. We're going to cook that down just for a few minutes. And again, this is sort of like the amazing trinity of any type of soup base. And we'll just cook that up. Hey, Chris, do you want to grab the wine and we can maybe do a little toast while we're cooking down?
Of course.
Thank you. Because just like Andy, come. I don't know if we're going to be able to see you in here. Here we go. There's Chris. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is to episode 3.
Cheers.
Cheers. We're happy that you're here with us, and we enjoy having this time together and being able to cook like this. It's super fun, and it's something that we enjoy doing. Last night, we were having a conversation about where to go for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And we were looking at a bunch of different places, and at the end of the day, we ended up cooking. So we cooked a stir fry with asparagus and mushrooms. We did that first, and then we used the same pan, and I cooked tofu and browned it up, and I used a little bit of like umami richness of a black garlic soy sauce, and then Chris used the same pan to stir fry his chicken.
Yes.
And then we put it all together, me with the tofu and the vegetables, and Chris with his chicken and the vegetables and rice. This is what this is. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but we have rice that's left over in case we decide that we want to have rice in the soup. I took it out. So instead of making tofu and chicken tonight, we already have that from last night. And so really building upon that nutrition and those layers of flavors, and cooking enough that we can use it as the same base. And then also in this case, as the differing proteins that different bio-individuality requires. I happen to be plant-based and
I happen to be chicken-based.
Yes. All right, now that this is cooked down a little bit, I'm going to add the water. And listen, I know that this is a YouTube sort of tutorial on a miso soup. However, I don't have vegetable broth, which, you know, should be used here. So instead, I'm just going to use some regular water. And I rarely have vegetable broth. I don't know why. But what I do is I have this vegan bouillon, which I like even better than the vegetable broth, quite frankly. So I'm just going to add 2 bouillon. It's called Not Chicken. Um, and it's gluten-free and vegan, so it's great if you have any type of allergens, no nuts and that kind of thing. So it's beautiful, and I get it just at the store. If I can't find it at the store, I order it online, and it comes very quickly. And I always have it, so I can use it in many different types of dishes. The other thing that I'm going to add to this to bring in a little bit of umami-ness is kombu. And kombu, excuse me, is a seaweed, and it stays whole like this. So if you do, I happen to like to eat it, but if you don't want to eat it, it will just add a little bit of like that earthiness to a soup. Now, you might be asking, I thought this was supposed to be miso. The miso doesn't get added until the very end because otherwise, it will almost like curdle if you add the miso too soon. So we're just going to let this settle on in and simmer for a while. We're going to make sure that this is going to boil, and then we'll simmer it for about 15 minutes. And we'll be back and visit you then. Mm-hmm. All right. So this has been simmering now for 15 minutes. It has a gorgeous umami fragrance. And you can also, you can really smell the ginger. I mean, it's just gorgeous and fragrant. And now what I'm going to do is just add about 2 cups of cabbage. And this happens to be Napa cabbage, but you can add any cabbage that you might have on hand. We're just going to let that just wilt up a little bit. It will just take a few minutes. You do want it with like a little bit of a bite to it so that it adds a different depth of texture to the soup. I've been heating up the rice from yesterday, and it might be out of camera range, but I have my tofu, and Chris has his chicken. So same base, the rice, the soup, with different protein based on bio-individuality. At this point now, I think that this is probably okay. I'm just going to heat that up just a teeny bit more. But it looks like it's already wilting. So I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of miso. Now, you can use any miso that you like. I mean, certainly the white miso would be nice so it would keep this beautiful golden color. But I don't have that. And neither does my store. So I just have a brown miso. So about 2 tablespoons. So there's 1, 2, and just going to make sure that the rest of that. I'm going to just stir that in. And miso is fermented, so it's really, really good, a really great reset for after the holidays. Will help reset your microbiome. Now listen, it's not going to do it immediately in one sitting and if you have 1 bowl of soup, but stacking this on with other fermented foods will really help just to, again, reset your microbiome after, the extravagance of the holidays and eating and drinking. So we're all set to eat. So, Chris, go ahead and choose your bowl and come on over, and I'm going to let you get yours ready first, and then I'll get mine. So, Chris, what are you putting in yours?
I'm just going to have a little bit of the rice and some of the chicken that we made the other day.
Nice. And how did you make the chicken? I mean, do you want to talk a little bit about Um,
Um, it was made after you made vegetables and then
and the tofu.
tofu. Sorry.
Yes. And when I lived in Shanghai, they did, all of that in one, in one, one walk, just like we did last night, so that, each separate item that's getting cooked will take on the flavor of the item that was cooked before. So I'm sure Chris's chicken is probably the best because it had two things cooked before it. Oh, look at that. I mean, this is just gorgeous. Look how nourishing that is with all of those amazing vegetables, the umami miso broth. I can't wait to eat this. Of course, I probably should have added the rice first, but I was so excited for the soup that I can't. So I'm just going to put a little bit of rice on the side. And again, this rice is from last night, and you can see that gorgeousness. And I want to use my fingers because we're at home and I can. To add a little bit of tofu. My dog is in the background, like jumping up, trying to get, some
Chicken.
yes. Although she also likes tofu, in all fairness, probably because she thinks that it's chicken. So you can see that's my dish. It's just beautiful. Let's eat. So I think I'm in the shot. I'm not exactly sure. But I'm really excited that we made soup tonight.
Yes.
It does. It looks so nourishing and just super simple. And do you want to talk about the
Yes, we're gonna try to have a little garnish of Thai basil that I just picked from the garden.
Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited. I'm glad we just had a cold spell where it got down to the high 30s at night. And I'm really, really happy that the Thai basil plant made it.
Well, it looks like most of the plants made it. So that's good.
100%.
Well, bon appetit.
Bon appetit. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's see. I'm going to just make sure that all of mine is incorporated. Is it good?
Very good.
Excellent. See, now, and how long did this take us? I mean,
10, 15 minutes.
exactly. I mean, granted, if we had to cook the tofu and the chicken, it would have taken a little bit longer.
But not a lot.
But we didn't, and you can get tofu that's already been processed and prepared. You can usually get that in the area where the tofu is. And quite frankly, if you put the tofu directly into the soup rather than keeping it separate, you can boil it. And tofu boiled is really great. It has a nice chewy texture afterwards. So. Wow, really good. I mean, you can taste the umaminess of the seaweed and the ginger. And again, that paste works fantastic.
Very tasty.
It's really good and so good for you. Really, really good. And you might have noticed that those carrots looked a little bit weird, right? They had like little domes on them. And we have a restaurant that we go to quite often, and my dog is right here. Here, do you want tofu? Yeah. And that's May May. And we love it there because for an omnivore, it's a fantastic place. But they don't have any plant-forward or vegan dishes on the menu. But Chef Nick is one of the very few chefs in Southwest Florida that will rise to a challenge And we asked him one time if he could make a vegan dish, and he has, and we go there quite often. And he has these little Parisian carrots. They're these little round nuggets of just delightfulness. And the other night we went out to dinner. We took my daughters before they went back home after the holidays. We went out to the restaurant, and he gave me a whole bag of those candies.
Very nice.
I really
Be a
did.
nice little Christmas present.
100%. So good. Well, we're going to sign off, I think, so that we can really chow down and not have to worry, if we're getting everything right. But we'll pop back on and give you some closing thoughts. We just wanted to pop back on here again to let you know that we had seconds. And it was still delicious. Chris had such a great idea of adding the Thai basil, that almost made it like a little bit pho-like, Vietnamese pho, that you put that in afterwards, and the fragrance is just released with the heat of the soup. And I appreciated that you thought about that. And listen, make the soup your own. You don't have to follow an exact recipe. Have some creativity and just use what you have in your house. So, yeah. And listen, if you enjoyed this YouTube video, I'd ask you to please give us a like, leave a comment, share it with a friend. And we also have a podcast as well, and that's Plant Powered Collective as well. So it's on all podcast platforms. So go in and have a listen there too. We'd really appreciate it. And as always, give us some feedback. Tell us what you'd like to see. And, we'd like to make sure that we are really providing content that makes sense for people and families and couples and individuals, for fast and efficient and, most importantly, nutritious meals.
Most importantly, delicious.
Yes, and delicious as well, of course. Thank you. For me, it's nutrition. I want all the micronutrients, and this was a micronutrient dense dish, and it was super nourishing and warming, especially for a winter day.
Thanks for watching.